You can find luxury million-dollar homes in every corner of the Dallas Metroplex. We're talking estates with infinity pools overlooking rolling hills, absolutely stunning estate homes on acreage. And you can find all of that here in Dallas. But I have seen luxury homes sit on the market for years, 3 years, 5 years, even longer. I've seen luxury homes go into foreclosure, be bought, then go into foreclosure again. Now, why is that? Because they violate a key principle that every luxury buyer needs to understand. So what I want to do in this video is break down this principle and then take a look at Dallas's top luxury communities through this investment lens. I want to take it practical as well. Like, does this community line up with what you're looking for in a home? Because here's the thing, real estate by its very nature is illiquid. You can't just cash out in 5 minutes the way you can with a stock, right? And in the luxury market, that challenge is even greater because only a small fraction of buyers can qualify for $1 million home. And that smaller buyer pool means your home is already harder to move, which is why this principle becomes so important. So this principle, it's called the principle of relative liquidity. And simply put, it means you want to buy in an area where the price point you're paying is abundantly, overwhelmingly supported by an active pool of qualified buyers. That comes down to things like the schools, the amenities, home ownership rate, the overall community, and the quality and prices of surrounding homes. If those factors line up, your home is positioned where affluent buyers are already looking. When I think of luxury communities in Dallas, we have around 9 we can really dig into, falling within roughly 2 categories. We have our entry level, like a base level luxury at around 1 to 2 million, and then we have our elite luxury at 2 million plus. Now, as we're looking at these communities, we want to consider what demand is like, not just now, but also in the future. Is it going to continue to be in demand by our target buyers? If it has been a stable, high demand area for decades, okay, awesome. If it's growing and evolving, what safeguards are in place to guide that growth? Then when it comes to your more subjective elements, are you looking for new construction or pre-owned? How about rural or suburban? What we want here is to line you up with the perfect community that meets your personal preferences, but will have such a strong future demand that we can feel confident with it as an investment as well. Okay, let's jump in with our first community. Let's talk about Prosper. Now, if you're wondering where you'll find Prosper, basically, if you start at downtown Dallas, you'll go directly north on the Dallas North Tollway past Frisco and right up to 380. Now, Prosper falls into what I would call entry-level luxury. You don't have the same level of exclusivity that we're gonna see like in Highland Park or Westlake, but Prosper has definitely moved into that luxury category. The population sits at just under 49,000, and it's around a 45-minute commute to downtown Dallas. So it's doable if you're commuting. I wouldn't say it's necessarily ideal. Now, traffic is where things get a little tricky. Highway 380 is the main east-west corridor, and it backs up constantly, especially during rush hour. The Dallas North Tollway is your north-south lifeline, but even that gets pretty congested. Now, inside Prosper itself, you'll still catch glimpses of country roads. So it's not wall-to-wall congestion, but it's definitely busier than it used to be. I would call it suburban in every sense. You've got your retail, your dining, okay, you got your Costco, all right, plenty of neighborhoods, but don't expect to find a major mall, okay? You're not gonna find that. But that mix of some wide open land with increasing density gives it kind of a transitional feel. When I look on a map, I like that it's mostly landlocked. It doesn't have that explosive room for growth that we see, for example, in Salina to the north. Anytime you have massive room for growth, I'm gonna be a little more cautious about what I can expect in the future. Development-wise, Prosper is encouraging growth, but not growth at any cost. They're wanting to maintain that affluent level of housing, but you should know they are allowing apartment complexes as well. They constantly talk about how they're committed to solid infrastructure, and we are going to see that the Dallas North Tollway is going to expand through Prosper and up into Salina. Most homes are on 60 by 120 lots, again backing up that suburban feel. I looked it up, and out of the 387 active listings, 33 are on half-acre or larger lots. So you can find homes on those oversized lots, but they're definitely not a defining part of Prosper. But how does this measure up to our principle of relative liquidity? Well, the median sales price in Prosper sits around $840,000. Of the 387 homes currently for sale, 144 of those are listed for over $1 million. 15 are over $2 million and 2 are over $5 million. So that's why I said this is entry-level luxury. Like a $10 million home is not going to have a strong pool of buyers here. School ratings are, of course, extremely important. Prosper ISD is rated an A by the Texas Education Agency, and greatschools.org puts it at 100% above average. So families chasing schools are going to be happy with what they find. So the question is this a good fit for what you're looking for in a home? Well, that depends. Prosper offers both new construction and pre-owned homes with quite a bit of fresh inventory if you want brand new. Windsong Ranch is the one you probably have seen all over social media with the lagoon and the white sand beach. It is huge, over 2,000 acres, with prices ranging from the 400s to the 2 millions. Now, I will say it doesn't always feel like a true luxury neighborhood because of how widespread it is. Now, Star Trail, on the other hand, okay, that's another one. It is more polished. It's a 900 acres with an upscale vibe, plenty of pre-owned options since it started in 2017, and an absolute full slate of amenities. I mean, we're talking resort-style pools, tennis courts, really nice clubhouse. So I would say this one definitely feels more cohesive and elite. We've sold several here, and our buyers have been very happy. Moving on from Prosper, let's talk about Lucas. And Lucas is a very different experience. From Prosper, you're going to go east, and then south, and then southeast, and that's where we're going to find Lucas. Now, Lucas again falls into our entry-level luxury category. So once more, we're not going to see Highland Park or Westlake prices here. We're talking about, a population of around 9,200. So this is definitely one of our smaller towns around Dallas. The commute into downtown Dallas is going to run you about an hour. And the roads here are mostly country roads. So traffic isn't bad at all. It just takes quite a while to get to the highway. And Lucas is anything but dense, okay? This is spread out, rural, country living. I mean, you can expect to see winding roads, pastures, and homes on acreage. There's not much retail or restaurant presence, and what does exist is mostly going to be to the west over in Allen. And I will say this, okay? Lucas has deliberately kept things this way, all right? They actually have 1.5 acre lot size restrictions. So you are not going to see like all these subdivisions crammed with tiny lots, all right? So what we have instead is that keeps this feel very private and peaceful. It also means you won't find amenity centers, pickleball courts, clubhouse neighborhoods. Okay, don't expect to see all that here. Shopping and entertainment, all right, you're going to be driving west into Allen, for those kinds of things. But how does this measure up to our principle of relative liquidity? Well, the median sales price in Lucas is about $1.08 million. They currently are showing 73 homes for sale, and of those 73, 39 are priced at over $1 million, okay? 9 are over $2 million, and none are over $5 million. So we should see here a healthy pool of buyers in about that $1 million price range, and we're going to be finding buyers who like private country living. Schools here are a huge strength. Lucas feeds into Lovejoy ISD, which is one of the most sought after districts in DFW. The Texas Education Agency gives it an A rating, and greatschools.org reports 100% of students score above average. Now, is this a good fit for what you're looking for? in a home? Well, expect that most homes here are going to be pre-owned. All right, the median year built is 2008. And of the 73 homes currently for sale, only 6 are actually new construction. Rockland Farms and Forest Creek Estates are 2 great examples of what you're going to find here. Rockland Farms gives you oversized lots with mature trees, privacy, and then your home set way back off the street. They average about $276 a square foot. An average $1.3 million home will get you like 1.5 acres with a 5,020 square foot home built around 2012. Forest Creek Estates is similar, but skews a bit older at $319 a square foot. 1.3 million will bring you about 2.3 acres, somewhere around 4,100 square feet of living space, and a home built around 2000. And with both of these, okay, it is all about the privacy and the oversized lots. Moving on from Lucas, let's go ahead and talk about Parker. Now, Parker sits just southwest of Lucas, about a 10-minute drive, and it's another entry-level luxury market. Your population here is only about 6,600, so it's one of these smaller communities, again, in Collin County. The commute into downtown Dallas runs about 45 minutes, which is actually better than Lucas because you're closer to the major highways. The feel of Parker is rural, okay? Again, you're gonna have winding country roads and homes set back off the street. It's not crowded, and traffic within Parker itself is fairly minimal. What makes Parker stand out compared to Lucas is proximity. You're around 10 minutes from both Plano and Allen, which means retail, restaurants, and entertainment are all going to be much closer. And you still get the space and privacy, but you don't have to drive 25 minutes just to grab dinner like you do with Lucas. Looking at Parker through the investment lens, the median sales price is about $1.26 million. Of the 30 homes in Parker right now, 24 of those are priced above $1 million. Only 2 of those are priced above $2 million, so that shows us the $1 million range is definitely liquid for this area, but not much more above that. Now, schools are where Parker shows a little bit of weakness compared to our other luxury communities. All right, the city splits between 2 districts, Allen ISD and Plano ISD. Allen ISD is strong, rated an A by TEA and scoring 86% on great schools. Now, Plano ISD, more mixed, okay? It's got a B from the TEA and just 64% on great schools. So that would honestly give me a little bit of pause if I were considering Parker. Because on the one hand, you have a closer location than Lucas, but then you have schools in Lucas ranking so much higher. So is Parker a good fit for you? Well, if you're looking for rural privacy with acreage, but you want easier access to nearby city conveniences, this could be your sweet spot. Just know that most of what you're gonna find here, again, is pre-owned. Median year built is 2006. Of the 30 homes currently listed, only 4 are new construction. You will find some beautiful communities in Spring Hill Estates and Brooks Farm. Spring Hill Estates homes are, again, going to be set far back from the street on acreage. Your average price will be about $1.4 million, selling at roughly $296 a square foot. And for that, you're getting close to 2 acres, around 4,800 square foot of living space, and homes that were built in the early 2000s. Brooks Farm comes in a little bit lower in price, just above $1.2 million, about $256 per square foot. And we're talking huge lots again. For that $1.2 million price tag, you can expect to get around 1.3 acres. Homes are slightly newer at around 2007, and the square footage will average around 4,700. In both Lucas and Parker, okay? Instead of community pools and playgrounds, your selling point is your acreage. So unlike Prosper, you're not gonna get your new construction or your master plan model. All right, it is a completely different vibe here. Now, how about let's hop onto the President George Bush Turnpike, where we are gonna head west out of Dallas, past the airport, and end up in Southlake. We have another entry-level luxury market here, but the feel is a lot different. Your population is about 31,000, and the commutes aren't bad. We're talking 30 minutes to either downtown Dallas or downtown Fort Worth. And that is one of Southlake's big advantages, those open options when it comes to the commute. The roadways are a mix of country-style winding streets, but you also have excellent highway access. Traffic is mild compared to what you'll see in Prosper or Frisco. It is one of those rare suburbs where you can get around without feeling boxed in by a lot of traffic. Lifestyle here really is a curious blend of both the suburban and the rural. Like, you will find winding roads, spacious lots, and plenty of privacy, which is a little bit like what we saw with Lucas and Parker, right? But also strong retail and dining options, like literally right around the corner. In fact, a lot of our surrounding suburbs come to Southlake for the shopping. So that's more like Prosper. And I would say overall, all right, Southlake is probably more like Prosper than Lucas and Parker, but yet it still has like a really strong rural flavor to it. But where do we stand with our relative liquidity? Well, Southlake's median sales price sits at about $1.43 million. Of the 149 homes for sale in Southlake right now, 128 are above 1 million. So getting a home under 1 million is gonna be tough here. 71 homes are above 2 million and 13 homes are above 5 million. So you've got a higher level of buyer liquidity here. Homes in like the 2, 3, and 4 million price range are going to be in reasonable demand. Schools in Southlake are top tier in the Carroll Independent School District. The TEA gives them an A, and greatschools.org rates them 100% above average. So that is as strong as it gets. And it's one of the biggest reasons families choose Southlake. Most homes here are going to be pre-owned. The median year build is 1998. So you're not looking at all kinds of brand new master plan neighborhoods. Out of 149 homes currently for sale, only 23 are new construction. Now, half of all of those listings sit on half-acre or larger lots, right? So that's gonna add to that rural feel we were talking about. In terms of some standout neighborhoods, Shady Oaks is absolutely known for its beautiful architecture. I mean, you will see Tudor, Tuscan, and country French homes that look like they were plucked right out of Europe. All right, the neighborhood was even once voted one of the richest in the country. Your average price is just under 1.5 million at around $264 a square foot. Many homes here come with heated pools and massive outdoor living spaces with bars. And then on top of that, you've got a pond, fountain, green belt, and walking trails built right into the community. So it really feels like luxury living with character. Whitechapel Hills is another top pick here. Homes average from the early 1990s to around 2000, but they sit on expansive acreage. Prices average just under $3 million, or about $397 a square foot. It's tucked away like on dead-end cul-de-sacs, but get this, it's only 4 minutes from Southlake Town Square. So that combination is unique. Like, you have fabulous country estates set back far from the street with shopping and restaurants literally just down the road. So it's that blend of rural atmosphere and suburban convenience that really, sets Southlake apart. I feel like we'd be talking about almost the perfect suburb here, except they just have so few choices in new construction. So if we want those rows and rows of sparkling new homes and subdivisions, we have to look at Prosper for that. Moving on from Southlake, you're going to head north and west, where you will find Westlake. Now, Westlake is where we move from entry-level luxury into full-on elite luxury. Your population here is only about 2,100, so you're talking about one of the smallest, most exclusive pockets in all of DFW. It's roughly a 35-minute drive into downtown Dallas, and the roads are a mix of winding country stretches with easy access to nearby highways. And that balance keeps the rural feel without feeling isolated like you might in Lucas or Parker. The feel of Westlake is rural and intensely private. Forbes even named it the most affluent community in the country back in 2011. Homes here are usually going to sit on 1/3 to 1 acre lots, and there's still plenty of land left for development. Privacy is so valued that gated neighborhoods are pretty much the norm, with guards at the entrances. And then also you typically are going to have HOAs that handle all the landscaping, which is going to keep everything very immaculate and uniform. Shopping inside Westlake is almost non-existent. Like, you are really not going to find like a grocery store or anything like that. But Southlake is 5 minutes away, okay, and it's got its town square and all that retail, and dining options. So residents never really have to feel like they're missing out. The town itself is only 7 square miles, so this is a very small town footprint with a very elite atmosphere. For outdoor space, Westlake has Glenwick Park with 13.5 acres of oak and pecan trees, a running brook, and lots of walking paths. In fact, the town has more than 15 miles of paved trails, and many subdivisions connect right into them. From an investment standpoint, Westlake is on fire. Median sales prices are sitting at $4.4 million. Of the 39 homes for sale, all 39 are above $1 million. 34 are above $2 million, and 12 are above $5 million. If everything else lined up, okay, in terms of your personal preference, this one would be a phenomenal place to own like a $2 to $3 million home. It would be definitely in very high demand. Schools are a huge part of the draw. Westlake has its own charter school, owned and operated by the town itself, which has been recognized by the TEA, U.S. News and World Report, Newsweek, and even the Washington Post. And then if that doesn't appeal for some reason, okay, Westlake is zoned to Carroll ISD, which again has that A rating with the TEA and 100% of students scoring above average. Homes in Westlake are a mix of newer pre-owned estates and high-end new construction. Vaquero is one of the crown jewels here. For around $4.6 million, you'd get nearly 7,000 square foot on just under an acre, with prices averaging about $664 per square foot. The neighborhood here, okay, is renowned for its exclusivity, golf club, and of course, like all the luxury amenities you're gonna find. Westlake Entrada is another standout. It's designed to look like a European village straight out of Spain's Catalonia region. Homes here average about $2.9 million, coming in at like $680 a square foot. With fairly new home choices, you can find them built like around 2023. The community has water canals, trails, and an old world vibe that feels completely different. It's walkable, and at the same time, it sits right inside one of the most coveted luxury markets in the country. All right, from Westlake, let's go ahead and head back east and north of downtown Dallas into Old World Highland Park. Now, Highland Park is one of the most established elite luxury markets out there, with a population of about 8,500. Your commute to downtown Dallas isn't bad. I mean, you're fairly close, but in traffic, it could take you up to 15 minutes or more to get there. Now, unlike places like Lucas or Westlake, okay, this one is going to be densely populated with busy highways and a lot of traffic. The lifestyle here definitely feels urban, but it's not really like in a high-rise glass and concrete kind of way, okay? The surroundings are beautiful with tree-lined streets and mature landscaping. Shopping and entertainment, also, that access is exceptional, okay? You're just minutes from Dallas's best malls, plus Highland Park Village and the shops at Highland Village. All of those are gonna be right around the corner. From an investment standpoint, Highland Park has been incredibly strong. The median sales price is about $3.42 million. Of the 26 homes for sale right now, 24 are priced over $1 million, 20 are priced over $2 million, and 9 are priced over $5 million. So very nice choice for a solid in-demand luxury home if urban is what you're looking for. Schools are another strong selling point. The TEA gives Highland Park an A rating, and greatschools.org scores it at 100% above average. So once again, we are among the best in the state. Most homes here are pre-owned with a median year built of 1946. Out of 22 homes currently on the market, market, only 2 are new construction. And that tells you a lot about the character of Highland Park, all right? It is not about brand new master plan communities by any means, all right? Instead, you're gonna find a neighborhood full of historic charm and architectural variety. All right, so think colonials, Tudors, Mediterranean estates, and all of this like lined up along lush shaded streets. The primary subdivision is known as Highland Park itself, and it is known for its gorgeous greenery. Okay, we are talking huge mature trees dominate the landscape, and the city actually has like a strict tree planting and landscape program that keeps everything looking green year round. You'll also find parks woven right into the neighborhood, like Lakeside Park, for example. Okay, you've got walking paths, duck ponds, fountains, and even the famous teddy bear statues set against views of Turtle Creek. So while Highland Park is dense and traffic can be really heavy, it kind of balances that. I mean, it is beautiful with greenery and some of the most prestigious real estate in the state. Next up, let's talk about University Park. We're gonna find it sits just 2 miles north of Highland Park, which is going to end up being about a 10 to 15 minute drive depending on traffic. Once again, we're gonna find ourselves firmly in the elite luxury category with a population of around 24,800. You're looking at around a 15-minute commute if you need to head downtown. And again, that's gonna depend on traffic. Now, like Highland Park, okay, it is dense, urban, and full of traffic with highways close by and busy streets running through. Living in University Park feels urban, but the surroundings are gorgeous. Tree-lined streets, lush landscaping, plus it's very walkable. Shopping and entertainment access is excellent. Plus, you're surrounded by Southern Methodist University, so you have all kinds of students and campus events going on. From an investment lens, the median sales price is right at $2.99 million. In terms of relative liquidity, of the 50 homes for sale here, 47 are priced above $1 million, 32 are priced above $2 million, and 12 are priced above $5 million. All right, let's talk about schools for just a minute. University Park is in the Highland Park ISD, which we know is one of the best districts in the state. So once again, the TEA rates it at an A, and greatschools.org has it at 100% above average. The homes here are mostly pre-owned with a median year built of 1997. Out of the 50 homes currently for sale, 10 are new. So you do see some new construction. University Heights is one of their standout neighborhoods. Average sales price here is about $3.8 million, coming in at around $756 per square foot. So that kind of budget buys you roughly 4,900 square foot on a quarter-acre lot, usually in a home built around 1980. In University Heights, you're gonna find everything from 1930s Tudors to 1950s classics, and then of course you have SMU right at your doorstep. Caruth Hills is another of their well-known neighborhoods. Prices here average $2.9 million at about $641 a square foot. Homes are going to be slightly smaller, around 40 square foot, and still going to sit like around quarter-acre lots. Your average year build is going to be around the mid-1980s. Now, Caruth Hills actually ties back to the original Caruth family, but now it's just kind of evolved into like an upscale, family-oriented, area with just beautiful tree-lined streets. It's very, very similar to what we saw with Highland Park. Moving on, Preston Hollow is one of Dallas's most well-known luxury neighborhoods. Head just north and a little west of University Park, and you'll be there in about 10 minutes. And we're looking at another elite luxury community here. It's actually within Dallas proper, with a population of around 13,000. Your commute to downtown is only about 11 minutes, which is pretty hard to beat. Surrounding areas are pretty busy, okay? You've got highways and traffic all over the place, but then once you turn into Preston Hollow, okay, it feels like a different world. Like homes sit back off the street, tucked behind trees on larger lots. The streets curve and wind, and it almost feels rural, even though you're definitely urban, right, from being just minutes from like Uptown and North Park. So that mix again of city convenience and quiet privacy is really what makes it stand out. Day-to-day life in Preston Hollow is comfortable and quiet. You've got tree-lined streets, mature landscaping, and a very private feel. But at the same time, you also have shopping, restaurants, and entertainment all fairly close by. So it's one of those spots where you can have peace at home but still be at your favorite restaurant in 10 minutes. The median sales price here is about $2.3 million. You have very little for sale in Preston Hollow right now, but of the 9 homes that are listed, all 9 are over $2 million and 4 are over $5 million. Now, schools here work a little differently. Like technically you're in Dallas ISD, but that district is huge and the ratings really don't tell you much about Preston Hollow. So most families are gonna go the private school route, okay? You've got some of the best options in the state. You've got for example, St. Mark's, Ursuline, and Parish Episcopal, just to name a few. Most of the homes are pre-owned with a median year build of 1980, but you'll also see newer custom builds sprinkled in as well. A $2.5 million budget here usually gets you about 4,400 square feet on a quarter-acre lot, often a home built in the late 90s. Architecture is all over the map, okay? Ranch-style homes, modern builds, and big traditional estates. There's also the estate area of Preston Hollow, and this is where you're gonna find some of the largest and most impressive homes in Dallas. I mean, the lots are huge. The streets are wide and shaded, and everything has a peaceful, established feel to it. Let's turn the corner now and talk about the Preserve at Fields in Frisco. Now, this is one of the most talked about luxury projects in North Texas right now. So from Preston Hollow, you just shoot up the Dallas North Tollway and that's where you're gonna find it. So this definitely falls again in our elite luxury category. Now, Frisco itself has about 253,000 people, but the Preserve is a gated luxury pocket within their brand new Fields development. Commute time into downtown Dallas is about 35 minutes, again, depending on traffic, but that isn't terrible, right, considering how far north you are. Frisco as a whole is densely populated and the traffic is heavy, but the Preserve is designed to feel like an escape, okay? You're gonna have oversized lots, mature trees being planted, and you also have proximity to the PGA golf courses. So that's all going to give it like a suburban meets rural feel, a little bit like what we saw in Southlake. Lifestyle here is all about resort style living. The Preserve will be gated and super private, but tied directly into PGA Frisco and the Omni PGA Resort. Residents will have direct access to the golf courses, over 20 miles of hike and bike trails, and the exclusive Brookside Club. So what does the Brookside Club have to offer? Well, a resort style pool, tennis and pickleball courts, a playground, and a fitness center. So between that and the shopping, the dining, and the entertainment being built into Fields, you will have almost everything you need without ever having to leave the community. From an investment standpoint, homes here start at $3.5 million, and I can tell you demand is already strong. More than half of the first phase of lots have been purchased, even with prices starting really high. Schools add to the draw as well. The Preserve is in Frisco ISD, which holds an A from the TEA and a 97% score on greatschools.org. So not quite Carroll or Highland Park ISD, but still very, very strong. This neighborhood is entirely new construction. So we have gone from mostly old world in Highland Park, University Park, and Preston Hollow to a little bit of new in Southlake, Lucas, and Parker, to a decent amount of new in Westlake, a lot more new in Prosper, and then entirely new within the Preserve. So within our goal of looking at your home as an investment and our principle of relative liquidity, you actually have a lot of choices. Now, if you happen to be all about just the new construction, okay, you're gonna be glad to know I made an entire video ranking some of our best and worst luxury builders here in Dallas. You can check that video out right here. In the meantime, this is Wendy Pennell, Dallas Realtor, and I'll see you on the next video.